Welcome back to Awareness with Antonio T. Smith Jr. That's myself. Yes, always a live audience. And from the last episode, we had a question. And that reminds me, all of you can email your videos, email a video question, no matter the length, email a video question, and we'll actually put you a part of this show. Yes, that's pretty cool. Yes. So email me your video question to info, I-N-F-O, at theatsjr with a jr.com. Info at theatsjr.com. You'll find it there. So we had a question. Let's start off with our question.
Last time you were talking about security.
Bring that closer for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the last time we brought up security is what she asked, and she couldn't see what was on the board because we had an online audience. So let's see if we can do this again. I said, in order for you to have, well, we have to do it all over again. There are 4 quadrants: employee, self-employed, business, investor. Can you see these? Probably not. You'll be able to see them. Okay, good. You'll see them on the video for sure, but we'll work on that live stream part. These 2 quadrants crave security. These on the right side are not where you want to be. These 2 quadrants are where you would be to live an average or above average life, slightly above average life. An employee will only be as rich as their employer will make them or allow them. This is the fastest form of slavery possible. This is slavery by fear. Employee is slavery by fear. Now, of course, all of you won't like me saying that. I mean not to disrespect you, but as you let me keep talking, you'll see what I mean. Self-employed is slavery. Oh. Slavery by work. Slavery by fear, slavery by work. We got a question in the audience, so let me explain this and I get to the question. Basically, if you're an employee, you crave security. You're too afraid to go out on your own, or you've been taught a certain way and you respond to a certain model, and you say things like, go to school, get a good job, get off on the weekends, at least I get paid regularly. So you allow people to tell you how much you're worth. Then you allow people to tell you when you're going to take a lunch. And then you actually, you allow them to let you beg or apply for a day off. That's what happens in the employee quadrant. Not just that, you do know that it is quite possible for me to give you your full salary all at once. You make $93,000 a year. Here you go, my man. Boom. The reason we don't do that is because we think you're not going to come back once I give you that salary, or your work will taper off. There's arguments for or against. I'm not saying you won't. I'm just telling you why you get paid every 2 weeks, or maybe you get paid every month. The reason you get paid in increments is because in this quadrant, I can do that to keep you coming back to me to make me rich. As an employee, you do not make yourself rich, you make your employer rich. Everyone should process that. As a self-employed person, what I said last episode is you can be a doctor and self-employed. Just because you're $1 million doesn't mean that you can't leave your practice. Doesn't mean that you can't not see every patient. A great example of self-employed people are real estate agents. Not all of them, but real estate agents make good money, but they have to give a nice chunk of their money to the broker. Yes, until you become a brokerage, till you become a broker and have your own brokerage, you're pretty much self-employed. And even then, you want to build a business system, which brings you over here now, a business system that allows for you not to be a slave. Now, on the left side is B and I. They run together and they can also be separate. Warren Buffett is an I. He lives in the I quadrant, the investor quadrant. But since he owns why am I not going to think of the name? Berkshire Hathaway. I'm so messing the name up. But since he owns that whole company, that also makes him a business owner. Do you see how he is primarily in the I, but he created a business system that also puts him in the B? That's how that works. That's why they go hand in hand. Grant Cardone has a $500 million real estate empire. That's investing all over. He owns over like 3,000 apartment complexes. But that is investing. But since he created a business model for it, get it? It puts him in the B as well. Got it? Good. What I was saying was the only reason you're on this side is for security. The only reason you started your own job the only reason you started your own company around your own talent, because you said, you know what? I want to take my management in my own hands. And since you didn't know enough about business and become a business owner, you said, now I'm secure in my own gifts. I'm secure in my own knowledge. You say things like, if you want something done well, you better do it yourself. You find people like that all the time in the self-employed quadrant. They're the very best at what they do, but they never hire well. Because they have the mentality, if you want something done well, you better do it yourself. If you want something done right, you better do it yourself. That's the mentality. So where's their security? In being great, in doing it themselves. Security by work. Slavery by work. Their work has them a slave. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, the new slavery has one 4-letter word. Debt. That is the new slavery. Debt. The new slavery is debt. Now, with all great respect, and this is a terrible thing that we do in this world, not just this country, sex trafficking. There are more people in sex trafficking. Slavery. That's slavery. Do not get it twisted. There are more people in sex trafficking than has ever, and right now, at one time, there has ever been in American slavery. Those are the statistics. That's bad. If you think worldwide, that's very bad. So we definitely want to give respect, honors, and more than just prayers for our people stuck in sex trafficking. Other than that, debt is the new slavery. Debt is the new slavery. Does everybody get it? Debt's the new slavery. Now, in your debt being the new slavery, this is what I said to our questioner. This is how you get out of the system in which it's enslaved. Can you see this online? It's a 1 with a lot of zeros. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commas. I am proposing that all of you get to 5 commas as fast as possible. I don't know what that number is, or get really close to it. Can you still hear me online?
Yes.
Outstanding. The reason why this is the only way out of slavery, because debt's the new slavery. That means what you want to do is make so much money to where debt cannot control you. How many of you right now, but this is before we even get to the third law, how many of you right now Honestly, right now, you work somewhere unworthy of you because you have bills. You don't travel as often as you want because you have bills. You live in a neighborhood that does not serve you because you have bills. Did you know that some of you only eat the foods you eat because you're poor? They process them. All processed foods are packed with sugar. The sugar that we use is a weaponized agent against the middle and poor class, whether you know this or not. I will talk about that in a later episode. Not natural sugar. Natural sugar can be found in apples, fruits, nice glucose. We'll tell you there's no sugar on the product. We'll say sugar-free. And then when you look, it'll be some oats they made up in a lab somewhere. They're right, there's no sugar, but this man-made sugar has been weaponized to keep you poor. Why? Because everybody watch this here. The more you eat sugar, the more you gain in weight. The more you gain in weight, the slower you can perform on your job, the slower your mind becomes, the lower your self-esteem. The lower your self-esteem, the more you're vibrating poorly at a frequency inside your body. The worse the vibration, the more your blood becomes acidic. The more acidic blood is the more your homeostasis is off. The more your homeostasis is off is the more illness and disease can get inside of you. And the more illness and disease gets inside of you is the more you have to go to the hospital. But you're poor, remember? So you can't afford to go to the hospital. So you keep yourself not going to the hospital for quite some time. Then you finally go when it gets really bad, and you go to the place not meant to save your life, but to prolong your death. And what happens? You get a huge bill. And what does this bill say? Go to work, I'm going to ruin your credit. And what do you say? Let me go to work to pay off this bill. And why did you pay off this bill? Because they gave it to you in the hospital. And why did they give it to you in the hospital? Because they want you to keep on working. Why do they want you to keep on working? Because they want you to keep on paying for insurance at your job. Why do they want you to keep on paying for insurance at your job? Because the insurances companies and the hospitals are all in cahoot, and they all in cahoot with the jobs, and all of that is a circular motion to keep you into slavery, which is not this number, but debt. That's facts. The food you put in your body is killing you. And the only way to put healthy food in your body is to just about make this much money. And I know that's pretty facetious. It doesn't really take 1 gazillion. I don't know what that number is. I have no idea. Somebody Google what this number is. Find me. Oh, you can't. That's okay. Find me this number, though. I don't even know what that number is. But check this out. How many of you know right now a hamburger costs 99 cents and a salad costs $5? You know this right now. You know right now a soda, I'm in the South, so I have soda, pop, maybe where you call it, costs 75, 99 cents, $1.29. A water costs $2, $3. It's designed that way, which leads me perfectly into our third law. I'm going to read it like George S. Clason wrote it, because I love the language of it, and I also want to give credit where credit is due. When I read this book, it totally changed my life. Totally changed my life. I've read it a very long time ago. It totally changed my life. Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of wise handling. What does that mean? Layman's terms. Law number 3. Law number 3. Money stays with smart people who have smart mentors. I am so not kidding. Before they had credit scores, the Babylonians understood this. I'm so not kidding. Why would I strategically start off a brand new show talking about the 5 laws of money? Because I am coming after money in a second. Why would I come after money in this brand new show that I can have on the ATS network and say whatever I want? The ATS network allows me to say whatever I want, unless I'm killing somebody. We're not going to do that, right? But I can say whatever I want. There's no boundaries here. I get to tell you the truth. It's not the first station like this, but it's one of the really good ones. And you get to have it. And it's right here at your disposal. ATS Network. Why do I get to start off by telling you about money? Because guess what? You're the only species on planet Earth that pay money to be here. You're the only one. Elephants do not congregate together and say, who's paying for this hole? Who has this lake today? This mud, who has this fresh mud water? Somebody needs to pay for it. Elephants do not say, hey, bruh, you owe me like a whole tree. No, that's us. Even in Christianity, the protagonist of the Christian book, the collection of book over 40 authors, he talked about money more than he talked about salvation. Why would I start off this controversial show with money? Because it's the one thing holding you back. It's the one thing altering your mood, and it's the one thing not letting you be free. And I'm going to give you the universal laws how to handle money, and I'm going to tell you how they have taught you not to even do this, or they hid all this from you, and it's been in great books this whole time. It's been in knowledge. This information no longer has to remain esoteric. It can be for everyone. Money stays with smart people. And those people have smart mentors. Now, we're not talking about IQ. We're talking about FQ, financial intelligence. You don't have to know the square root of 623. Do you know how to take $1 and make 10? A students are in the lab somewhere working for C students who understood money. Oh, man. Okay. I accidentally said that, but I'm glad I did. A students are less than C students. It's the truth. Valedictorians rarely go off and start mega businesses. It's always high school dropouts. Why do you think the people you love the most, the people you admire the most, I don't want to say names. Think of your greatest celebrity, the ones you really admire the most. You think of them. Why do you think they don't go into your kind of places? I'm not saying that they don't help and donate. Let me say what I want, because let me say what I want. Why do you think when people get a super understanding of things, they pull away from dogmatic institutions? Because anything institutionalized breeds slavery. Anything. It breeds control. When they wanted, and this is the ancient world, when people wanted to enslave people, mentally, they created institutions. They created hierarchies. They created hierarchies. Do you know how insane it is that you are convinced right now that you must pay for an orange? So you're not even thinking. You're not even thinking this grows for free. You're so used to capitalism, you're not even thinking that oranges grow without our permission and without expecting anything from us but to put more back into the ground. But we got there first and said, wait a minute. You thought, you wanted some oranges? First off, my grandfather had this land. He migrated over here in 1843. And my grandfather's son had this land. which is my grandpappy. And then his son had this land, and now I have this land, and you know, you just can't have this orange. You just can't have it. This is ours. That's the only time, ladies and gentlemen, you will see lack, is when man creates it. It's the only time. It is the only time you will see lack, is when man gets there first, hoards the abundance, and forces others to follow rules to get it. I want to talk about rules in a later date. I need for you to understand that the third law of money is very simple. Money, universal. If you just follow these universal laws of money, you will always have it. Money clings. It sticks to it. It says, please let me stay with you if you're smart with it. And then if you have a wise counsel, or you seek the wise counsel of money, then you get to keep it. There's a great illustration in The Richest Man in Babylon about a rug maker who convinced one of the people, hey, give me the gold you have saved up. I'm a rug maker, but we're going to invest in these diamonds or rubies or whatever they were. And of course, that was terrible. They lost all their money. So when the person who had the gold went back to his mentor, he said, well, of course you lost your money. You went to rug makers to tell you about rubies. See, that's not wise counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not wise counsel for you to believe that you can go to your employee friend and get business advice from them. No, some of you right now are asking, should I do this? Should I invest in Bitcoin? Did you ask someone who invests in Bitcoin? No. Should I start a real estate company? No, you shouldn't do that because the economy's down. That's the crazy advice ever. You want to buy when the economy is down because you buy low and you sell high. I can't wait. I cannot wait for a bust. I got money just piled up ready to buy everything I possibly can. This is what they don't teach you in school. It's what they don't teach you in school. There's two key elements here. The three key elements here you need to understand. Money. Let's go with 4. Stays with smart people who have mentors. These laws of gold. The first thing you need to understand is that this money, what you're willing to die for or be sad for, it doesn't exist. The Babylonians did mighty fine by money without the United States telling them what to do. Without a central bank. Without Benjamin Franklin or the Queen on their money, people were doing just fine. They invented math and decimals. They invented fractions just so they can chop up the gold. This is the only reason this exists is because they had to figure out a way how to take something from a whole to a third. Money doesn't exist. What's existing to you, what's clinging to you, is this energy that gives you prosperity. Money does not exist. What is clinging to you is this energy. We could change the word. Prosperity stays with smart people who have smart mentors. Let's change the word again. Houses stay with smart people who have smart mentors. Change it again. Airplanes stay with smart people who have smart mentors. Do you understand that money doesn't exist, but what you do with it does? The energy can be controlled. The frequency of money can be controlled if you follow these 5 laws of money. 5 laws. The frequency can be controlled if you study and you hold and you keep these 5 laws of money. It can be controlled. Here's the next element. You have to get some education on money. Who among you has mastered something you don't know anything about? Nobody. Give me a job title. Doesn't matter. CFO, finances. That's Chief Financial Officer, I'm assuming you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you don't know anything about finances, how can you master being a Chief Financial Officer? Preacher. If you know anything about your sacred text, how can you be good at being a preacher? Construction worker. If you don't know anything about Pythagorean theory or whatever your element of construction worker. Sheetrock. If you don't even know how to cut it, how can you master it? Mezcla. What's that? That's Spanish. I know a few languages. These words get what you call, mezcla is mud. You call it on the side of the building. Stucco? Okay, yeah. So we can say stucco. That works. Okay. You know, plastering on the side of the building. Plaster, stucco, cool. The Spanish word was in my head. Stucco. If you don't know anything about it, if you don't know how to mix it or where to buy it from, you can't master it. You need to be smart. That means stop studying drama and start studying money. How can you lose weight and you don't understand the education of losing weight? If you don't understand the fundamental part of losing weight, that you must burn more calories than you put in. If you don't even know what a calorie is and where it comes from. If you don't understand that it's not necessarily the meat you're eating, although that's not necessarily good, but all the sugar you're putting in your body that is lining your fat cells and blocking it so your blood can't use it and your muscles can't absorb the fat. If you don't realize that the sugar is blocking the muscles from absorbing the fat, you can't even lose weight. Sugar makes more people obese than anything else. It is the number one problem of obesity that no one wants to talk about. Why? Because we have $1 million of job funding and grants and programs telling you about cancer and stuff. Stay away from sugar, you wouldn't get a lot of this stuff. Stay energy makes you, if it stays with smart people. Stays. If you want to keep being rich, do the smartness of it. Educate yourself. And then lastly, mentors. If you don't have somebody like me, you lost already. You cannot do this on his own. You cannot do this on your own. The universe isn't set up that way. The universe is not set up for you to be alone. There's a great binary things of the universe. There's tri and bi. There's triad and binary. These are great things. I'll give you an example. You have your conscious, superconscious, and subconscious, a trinary thing. Religious would say spirit, soul, man, or flesh. Doesn't matter. We go on and on about this here. Binary. Up, down, left, right, hot, cold. Everything in this world that either gave this world life or keeps this world understandable is coupled into 2 or 3. You don't get to be alone and expect to draw abundance from this universe. The greatest binary effect of all is man, woman. It's just the way it works. You can't be alone and expect to invoke these universal laws. That means get you a mentor, get you one as fast as possible. You've been watching Awareness. My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. You can plant better. You can dominate.